Hi, everybody. Carmine Vetrano with you here inside the New York Bobcats locker room at the Twin Rinks at Eisenhower Park, home of your New York Bobcats. Alongside me, as always, is head coach Craig Dreamus, and it's time for Coach's Corner. And Craig, here we are, the start of training camp. I know it's it's quite the off season. I know you guys are getting ready to go. But quickly, let's talk about last season. You guys finished third in the division. You made it to the playoffs first round. You're able to get past the East Coast Wizards, then move on to the New Hampshire Junior Monarchs. Unfortunately, we were eliminated by them. But overall, another good season. I know ultimately the goal is to win the championship and move on to the Nationals. But again, from an organizational standpoint, you guys were able to go into the playoffs and ultimately move guys on to college, which is the main goal here.
Absolutely. At the end of the day, you're disappointed. Obviously, like you said, you want to win a championship. But the ultimate goal for our program, first and foremost, is player placement and player development. I think we did a tremendous job of doing that. I think we ended up sending 8 or 10 guys to college last year. So that in itself defines our season as success. Obviously, for the boys and for the coaches, you want to advance as far as you possibly can. But our effort was nothing to be ashamed of. We went to overtime and lost in a nail-biting series to the Monarchs, and it's credit to them and their staff. They did a good job, and our boys just came up short.
Let's fast forward to now. I mean, obviously training camp opened up at the start of the week, and I know guys have been excited. You've been seeing Twitter of the guys coming in and some of the vets returning, just excited to get back here and get back on the ice and start training camp. And let's just start, with that forward group. Obviously, you take a look at the key returner here, Corey Kennedy, and what he's meant to this organization, in terms of what he's been able to do up front. And then, you take a look at a couple of the new guys coming in and, just being able to chance to talk to him and stuff like that. It's one of those things where everybody's just simply saying they want to win a championship. They want to win a championship. And, to get that from guys that have maybe played at the midget level to come at the junior level and already want to win a championship, it's something to see in this forward group.
Absolutely. Like you said, it all starts with Corey. He's a veteran. He's been here. He's led our team in scoring for 2 consecutive seasons. So obviously we set the bar high for him. We expect him to lead the way for our group. And what I will say is early on in camp, everyone's bought in. Everyone knows what our goals are as a team and as individuals. Obviously our veterans have really done a good job of setting the tone thus far in camp, and we're proud and happy for them. And we're excited for the group. It's a group with a lot of high character and quality human beings here. We're working them hard on and off the ice. I think the buy-in's been great from them, and that's something we preach from day one. If we buy into the same team goals, we'll be successful as a group.
Well, back on the blue line, you lose a couple of guys. Obviously, the captain from last year, Sean Geary, he goes on to college. And, even during the season last year, Joey McGuire makes the jump to the USHL. So he's, pursuing that route. But, you get back Charles Barber, and he was a guy that, just saw his play increase from day one all the way to the end of the season. And same thing with a guy like Randy Wolf. He's a little bit snake-bitten with injuries, but he came on strong as late. You had, again, a couple of guys coming from outside organizations, the midget level. And, again, it just seems like everyone's buying in, especially on the blue line.
Absolutely. I mean, you hit it on the head. Charles Barber, in our opinion, should be the best defenseman in our league this year. He had a tremendous offseason, getting bigger and stronger, as hard as that is to imagine, and we expect him to have a monster year for us. You mentioned as soon as McGuire moved on to Bloomington last year, we sat down with Charles, and Coach Bobby did a good job explaining to him his new role, and Charles embraced the opportunity and has really thrived in it. Our other 2 returners, Sean Leonard, Randy Wolf, are as steady as they get. They'll be 2 of the top guys in the league as well. Our D-core is a really solid group. We're excited. We think we've done a good job of identifying a lot of promising young prospects for our club this year, and they're going to come in and play big roles on our team. Every guy will have a different role, and every guy will have different responsibilities, but at the same time, our group is as solid as any in the league. And
to round things out, back in the crease, you have Brandon Rathwell returning, and he's a guy that obviously had a successful rookie season. During the summer as well, he was able to participate in the New York Ranger prospect camp. So you could just see the ceiling for him, and he's going to have a successful future here. But another guy coming in, Patrick Cavanaugh. He's a guy that played up in Applecore, and he had some good numbers in the Met. I think in the playoffs he stopped over 100 shots. So you get some new blood in the crease. But just what are your thoughts on the goaltending? If you had a chance to see Patrick before, obviously now with training camp, but again, a strong 1-2 punch.
Absolutely, and you hit it right on the head. What we do this year as a team will hinge on our goaltending. Brandon Rathwell is a special hockey player and human being. Like you said, he had a great season last year in his rookie year in junior hockey, followed it up with a great spring and summer at USHL camps and with the New York Rangers. What I will say is some college better jump on this kid quick, because he's probably the best uncommitted goaltender in the country. Patrick's kid we watched a lot of last year. I identified him early in the year. We watched him a bit. Had a really good year with an Applecore team, and we think he's going to come in here and push Brandon from day one for playing time. And not to be forgotten is Max Horn. Max Horn's a kid who comes in, works hard without poise, on and off the ice every day, knows his role, practices every day, works hard every day, and makes us a better team because he's here.
One final question before we let you go here on the Coach's Corner. Again, we're wrapping up here the first week of training camp. Next week, I know it's going to pick up a bit, and then, junior hockey starts in September, so we're right here. And, I know after Labor Day weekend, a lot of this stuff is going to kick in motion. Just, what are some of the goals maybe right now after week one? Everyone's accustomed and everyone's got their bearings, but, for week two and here on out, it's pretty much all systems go.
Absolutely. I think the biggest thing for us early on camp has been, we spoke about it before, the buy-in factor, making sure the team's on the same page as the coaching staff and the support staff here. And the other word we've talked around a lot is culture. We want to create a positive culture here, something that's conducive to player development and success. And I think we've done a good job here early on in camp. We're going to continue to work on that. We don't expect things to be exactly perfect here in camp. We'll work through our differences. And just come together as a team as quickly as we can. Obviously, we have a long time to go until we start league play. We did that on purpose, so we have a lot of practices under our belt. We play next weekend up at the Labor Day Showcase in Hartford, so we're looking forward to getting to bang some other bodies rather than ourselves. And I'm excited to see what the team has. That's the real test. You want to see what your group's about, not just in practice, when you play some real-life competition. We have a great showcase schedule put together for the boys. And, again, we spoke about it at length during this interview. Player development, player exposure. We want to make sure guys are getting in front of colleges, early in the season.
All right, Craig, thanks for your time. And fans, for more information about the Bobcats and their upcoming schedule, head to nybobcats.com.